So her argument, of course, is that if we invest in equipments and facilities, it would really be supporting staff so that they can do a good work. Last but not the least, we have Ms. Yeo. Ms. Yeo, as you all know, is the consultant for JCI. She will be speaking against the motion, and that is she would like to invest more in people. Ms. Yeo?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Now, I'm speaking on this topic representing my personal opinion, not my hospital, all right? So this is on my personal opinion and my own personal belief, okay? It is better to invest in people than in new facilities and equipment. So I'm focusing on high touch versus high tech. So this is a quote, that I've downloaded from the web. I looked at the White House advisor, Ezekiel Emanuel, head of the Bioethics Department, National Institutes of Health, in his speech when he was interviewed by the media. The excerpt that I got was, in the last 50 years, he said, we have invested in medical advances that emphasize high technology. I think we have lost the high-touch part of medicine, he said. We have been focusing on the high-tech versus the high-touch. We can get high quality at lower cost, which is really the holy grail of medicine. So I think this set the stage for my argument, that at the end of the day, you can have a lot of high-tech equipment, but when you do not have high-touch, you really lose the art of medicine. And this is my own personal research that I've done many, many years ago, when I was going to school at UCLA. I did a lot of literature review on a nursing theorist. And essentially, my research was on Eastern medicine and how it impacts touch. So in Eastern medicine, it supports the theory that human beings have an energy field that seeks to harmonize the environment. So this is a concept of qi. The qi that heals was first published by Krieger in 1979, who termed the phrase therapeutic touch. Human being and the environment are one. In other words, you can have beautiful facilities, you can have very expensive equipment, and they are all state-of-the-art. But when you do not have that positive feel about you, and when you do not touch the patient may not heal. Because why? The patient in that environment are one. And it is the human beings that radiate that energy field, not a cold machine. And all equipment, including state-of-the-art, require the human touch to operate them. So state-of-the-art equipment require competent staff. In fact, the more expensive and more high-tech machine that you have, you need more competent staff. So training and retraining often pose a challenge and a possibility of a white elephant. So my personal experience too in the last several years as an administrator is, we have people that have the loudest voice, and then in the event get us to agree to purchase the most expensive state-of-the-art equipment for them. And lo and behold, when they leave the organization, they left behind white elephants. Because why? Other people that came along didn't think that the machine was good enough, or they didn't know how to operate that machine. So I think in the audience, you would also have similar stories, that some very good machines, or supposedly good machines, turn out to be white elephants. So really, staff should be nursing the patients versus nursing the equipment. And in our patient satisfaction surveys, I've been managing patient complaints and managing patient satisfactions both in the private sector and the public sector for 15 years. And patients never said, that I love the machine, I love the CT scan, I want to take it home with me. But patients always say, I love that doctor, and I love that nurse, and I want to take them home with me. So it is indeed better to invest in people than in new facilities and equipment.
Thank you, Ms. Yeo, Nelly. So I think after this session, we are going to take home either a nurse or a doctor with us. Now, this is going to be a wall of words. This session is going to, hopefully there's no verbal abuse to be used. It is a session for you to rebut the other team members, what they said, or what you want to add to. Would you like to start, Dr. Tushar? Yes, you can, yeah, you can do it here.
Okay, I think the opponents, with all due respect, have got, you cannot replace a human being because we are dealing with human lives. But replace the human beings who are not performing or who are unable to give you the touch that you require. And there cannot be, high touch, if I may use the term, without you using technology to take away all those intangibles that can be done by a machine. So there's no reason why we should replace human beings. You can't use the Honda robot to be your nurse today, but you can actually use something else, use an RFID tag to take temperature so that your nurse could actually be more effective in giving nursing care. A lot of times, the people that we have on the ground today do not do what they're supposed to be doing. They do not give nursing care because they're caught up doing a lot of paperwork, a lot of running around, a lot of multiple tasks which actually don't make sense. And this is where replacement in terms of technology would actually give you that high touch. And it's very, very relevant to actually remember that hospitals are not made up of doctors alone. And it is much easier for you to replace a machine than to replace an old-fashioned doctor. Because a doctor is very, very difficult for you to get rid of when he's stuck in your hospital. But a machine can be replaced. Thank you very much.
I don't think I'm going to add to that. All right? Let's move very quickly. There's so many doctors in the audience. Dr. Kim, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I agree. I agree the medical facility and equipment never complaining, but they are sometimes out of order. Yeah, but the people it is rare to be out of order. So I want to focus on the media field. There is no interesting story in medical equipment. The journalists like to draw the interesting story from some medical field, but there are lots of interesting story in the great doctor. But that's why we frequently cover the medical doctor. So I want to say that there is no the dramatic or interesting or humanistic story in medical equipment.
Very true. I'm sure there are many very outstanding doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals in the audience. They are sure to support you. Ms. Lee, do you have anything to say?
I strongly support my team members say that we have to take more attention to the healthcare professional because they can help us to retain the patients, reserve our revenues. But remember, we can use the facility and equipment to support us to free up their time for the close contact with the patient, and also they can have more direct care to the patient. And also the high quality doctors can go around everywhere to provide a talk in order to train up the new graduates, and also there's a lot of soft touch can be provided by the nurse at the bedside because more equipment can help them to give an immediate message to them for the patient's change in the conditions or any complaint from the patients. There is no need for the patient to call for the nurse, to wait for the nurse, and also they can also help to make a good reputation for an excellent hospitals. Thank you.
Again, last but not the least, Nelly, your turn.
All right, I really don't want to be in a hospital that is managed by robots, that has all machines and all wires and all equipment running around and all high-tech technology surrounding me as a patient. I really want someone, very simple medicine, someone that comes around and touch me. I don't need high-powered medicine. I just need someone to spend a little bit more time with me. And this again is something that Ezekiel Emmanuel was saying. The medicine of the future is a medicine that is high quality, low cost. It does not have to be costly. It does not have to be massive investment in equipment or massive investment in facilities. It's just spending a little bit more time with the patient. So my argument remains, as if Stephen Covey said, in 7 Habits, if you begin with an end in mind, what is your end in mind? Your patients should be satisfied. And your patients are always satisfied with doctors, with nurses, with care coordination. The patients don't tell you they're so satisfied with the equipment. So that rests my point of view.
Thank you very much. Now, I don't think I need to sum up what they have said so far, because the message is very clear. And the only thing I gather is that they're not really opposing too much one another, because they also touch, they're very friendly, maybe because I'm sitting in the middle. But I think this is really the time for you to give your viewpoint on this debate, whether you are for or against the motion, and that is to invest. It is better to invest in new equipment and facilities than in people. And I hope that you will be able to speak up. Please give your name, and then you'll have 1 or 2 minutes to speak.